G'day there. If your income is all over the place, you know what I mean? Some months it feels like there's plenty of money coming through, while other months things can get really tight. If this is you, please be assured you are not alone. In fact, every single day, more and more people are experiencing what it's like to live on an unpredictable and irregular income. Maybe you are a seasonal worker. Maybe you are a small business owner. Maybe you're a shift worker, or maybe you're a student and you can only work during the holidays. Regardless why your income is unpredictable, I understand that it can be incredibly difficult to manage a budget, to manage your cash flow, to manage your money with an unpredictable income. The good news is that with some very simple systems, some very simple tweaks to the way you manage your finances, managing an irregular and unpredictable income can actually be very easy. And that is what I want to show you in this video. G'day there, my name is Phil McGilvray. I'm a financial coach, financial wellbeing consultant, and founder of the Money Boss movement. And over the past 35 years, I've had the privilege to help literally thousands of people in this exact situation. Time and time again, I've seen them go from stressed and stuck with their finances to clear and in control with some very simple tweaks to the way they manage their cash flow. And in this video, I want to share with you a very simple, repeatable system that will allow you to manage an irregular income so that you can get rid of the financial stress and start building some real financial confidence around your finances. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're going to cover in this video. Firstly, we're going to get clarity. What are all your expenses? Secondly, we're going to create a minimum monthly budget. So this is what is the budget that we need to get by every single month to ensure all our expenses are covered. Then we're going to have a look at, well, how do we handle your high income months? And then how do we handle those low income months? And then we're going to look at the golden rule around all of this, the golden rule that makes all of this work. So the first step in this process is to get complete clarity, and more specifically, complete clarity around what all of your expenses are. This is super important. If we're going to successfully manage our expenses within an unpredictable income, we first need to know what those expenses are. And this means your fixed and variable cost and your discretionary and non-discretionary expenses. Now, I'll regularly have people who will say to me, well, Phil, I know what all my expenses are. And they will start rattling off what their rent is or what their mortgage is. They'll start rattling off their utilities. They'll start rattling off what their insurances are or any of their other bills. And I say, well, this is great, but we actually need to know what all of those other discretionary expenses are as well. So what do you spend on? Groceries. What do you spend on your clothes? What do you spend on sports? What do you spend on holidays? What do you spend on the kids' activities? What do you spend on your pets? There's so many other categories of expenses out there, and we need to know what they all are. So to help you do this, you can grab a copy of the expense worksheets, my financial universe worksheets that I use with all of my one-to-one clients. You can grab a copy of them in the description down below. There's a link there. There's also a free training that goes with it to show you how to actually use that spreadsheet to get the best outcome. So please make sure you download that, because that's going to help you get the clarity on what are all of my expenses. The second thing that we need to do then is we need to identify your monthly budget. Now, of course, we can only do this if we've done step one, which is getting all your expenses together. We need to identify what all your expenses are, and then we need to convert them to a monthly figure. Okay, so to a monthly figure. What are all of my expenses as a monthly figure, so we can start to compare monthly income to monthly expenses, an apple-to-apple comparison. We then want to tally up, okay, each of these different expense categories, how much do they all add up to on a monthly basis? So if you have a quick look at this, you can see here, we've got a nice concise list of what I need to put aside for all of my expenses every month, so that when they turn up, the money is just going to be there for it. So you can see here every day, which is things like your groceries, your petrol, your parking, your entertainment, bought coffees, bought lunch, and so on, we're allowing $1,200. Rent, $1,300. Car expenses, we need to put aside $300 a month, because over the course of the year, they cost $3,600. Grooming, $500 a month. Giving, $500 a month. So you can see we go down here, and at the bottom, we've got a budget that says, I need to have $5,000 every month set aside for all my upcoming expenses so that when those expenses turn up, the money is just sitting there ready to go. Hopefully this is making sense. My grandma taught me to budget using physical glass jars and physical money. So every single month she would take down these jars when she got paid. On each jar was a label of an expense. So for instance, everyday expense, $1,200 was written on the jar, and she knew $1,200 of her pay would have to go into that jar. $1,300 would have to go into a rent jar, $300 would have to go into a car jar. And what this did was it spread all of her expenses across 12 months. No one month was responsible for any one expense. So what this meant that there was no stressful months because everything was evenly distributed throughout the year. That's what we want to try and do here. So we've identified what are all my expenses. Now, if you use the spreadsheet that I give you, the Financial Universe spreadsheet, which I talked about just a minute ago, if you download that, it will actually do this for you. It will convert all those figures to a monthly figure so you can clearly see what is my monthly budget. Okay, step 3 in this process then is, well, how do we manage this budget when we have high income months? So let's just say we have a month here where we earn $6,000. $6,000 comes into our budget. Our budget needs $5,000 a month. So what that means is that we've got enough money to cover our budget. So think about this is like grandma coming home. She tops up all of her jars, and after all her jars are topped up, she's got $1,000 left over. So instead of going, woohoo, I've got money to spend at this point, what we want to do is take that $1,000 and move it into a cash reserve. So we want to have discipline here and move that $1,000 into a cash reserve. So if you're a student, this means during those summer months where you're working your butt off, to try and earn a bit more money, then you want to stick to your budget of $5,000 a month, and anything over and above that, and I know $5,000 is probably a lot more than what your budget is, but you get what I say here? In those months where the extra money comes in, you want to hive that extra money off and you want to move that extra money into your cash reserve. Let's say, so month 1, we've moved $1,000 to reserves. Now let's say month 2, we're still in the summer months, $7,000 comes in, our budget is $5,000, so we can take $2,000 surplus now and move that up to our cash reserve. So we're stashing away money so that when those lean months come, we've got the money sitting there ready to go. So let's say we're now in month 3, and month 3, it's time to go back to uni, or perhaps if we're a seasonal worker, it's our leaner months. What happens now is instead of having $5,000 come in, we've only got $4,000 come in. So $4,000 comes in, it's not enough to cover our budget. We've got no surplus. And what we're now doing is we're drawing from our reserves. Now just realize that arrow should go in the opposite direction. We're now drawing from our reserves. So $1,000 comes from our reserves to top up our budget. So we've got enough to cover all of our upcoming expenses. Instead of it being as an income, we're now drawing in reserves to fill the hole. Okay, so let's now have a look at what happens in month 4. Month 4, things get really lean. We only have $2,000 come in. So we need $5,000, leaving us $3,000 short. We pull the last $2,000 we have from reserves, which means that we've got $4,000 of our $5,000 budget covered, but there is a bit of a deficit. Now, the reason I put this scenario in here is because this is a reality when we first get this process started. It's very rare that we start this process at the beginning of our good months. It's more often that we start this in the middle of our bad months. Regardless of where you start, I want you to get this process set up, because as soon as those good months start coming, you know that you need to be putting that surplus money into your reserves so that when the next season of low income comes, you are going to be all set up and ready to go. It's quite likely there will be a couple of tight months where you need to make sure that you keep the discretionary spending down so that we can just get through to those better months and then start stashing away all that surplus income. And the overarching principle that makes all of this work, the golden rule, as long as your annual income is greater than your annual expenses, then this strategy will work perfectly for you. Because what that means is that during the good months, where we've got plenty of income coming in, we're putting more aside into your reserves than you will need to draw on in your lean months to keep your budget going. So overall, your reserves will continue to build. So if this has been helpful, can I ask you to please click the like button and please subscribe, because every single week I'm releasing new videos with practical, no fluff money strategies that will help you and your family thrive financially. Okay, so let's now go through a summary of what we've discussed in this video. The first thing that we need to do is get clarity on what all of your expenses are. This is really key because we want an honest idea of, well, what does it cost me to live on a month-to-month basis? So if you'd like some help with this, there are some budget worksheets you can get access to. These are the ones that I use with my client. In the description down below there, click the link. There's some training that goes with it to show you how to use it. But that isn't going to help you identify your monthly budget. How much do you need to be bringing in every single month so that as your expenses turn up, whether they're monthly expenses, quarterly expenses, annual expenses, you've just got the money sitting there in your working account ready to go. Then what we want to do is, in those months where you have good income months, excess, we want to move that into your reserve account, and then you can draw on that during the lean months to cover that shortfall in your budget. The golden rule, of course, is that your income has to be greater than your expenses. That means we're putting more into your reserves account throughout the year than we need to be drawing out during your lean months. If you can do this, this strategy will work perfectly for you. Last of all, if you need some help getting control of your finance, if you need some help, you're not quite sure what to do, how to do it, or where to start, then can I encourage you to check out the Money Boss Academy. There is a link down below here where you can jump into there. There's a video explaining what we're all about and how we can help you and your family thrive financially. We'll leave it there for now. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click like, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.